So many times we get caught up in this material world thinking that there's more to life and there's more to be found and there's this big finish at the end of the race. I'm here to tell you there is no big finish, friends. This is the big finish. Every day, every moment, every minute is an opportunity to show up as your best self, to sprint to the finish line, to be present, to be alive, to be in love with life, and to be forgiving of the moment, because it is a lot of work. It's a lot more work to carry all those frustrations and mistakes and burdens and annoyances with you everywhere that you go. It's so much easier just to let it roll off your back. You know what I mean? So wherever you are right now this morning, whatever is on your mind right now early this morning, whatever you are thinking about, whatever's got you kind of your eyebrows in a furrow, your brain all like twisted up, just let it go. Let it breathe. So many of us wake up, we hop on our phones, we hop into our email, we hop online, we get super excited about connecting with the world around us, and yet we sometimes forget to connect with who? With ourselves. It's so important to take that time to connect with yourself, to find stillness, to find a moment of gratitude, to drink your 2 glasses of water, make your bed, do all of these little simple things that set you up for success, so that when you step out into your day, you are stepping out together, not just together when you got your hair together, not just together because you got your clothes together, but knowing that there's so much more than just this physical experience. Have your mental together, right? Have that clarity, have that focus on, right? Have that spiritual grounding together. Do that meditation or that prayer or that journaling, right? Have all of your emotions together. Not in love with the attitude, but in love with the simplicity of things, and just allowing yourself to smile. So wherever you are right now, under the sound of my voice, I ask you, curl up the edges of your lips and go on ahead and give yourself a smile. It's free 99, folks, costs not a dime, and yet it's one of the most beautiful things you can do for yourself is simply smile and sit back. So I got a beautiful show planned for y'all today. I'm so excited. Today we are going to be talking about the importance of music. Yeah, and what exactly music does for you, your body, mind, soul, spirit, and more importantly, what music does for the culture, right? So there's so much to talk about with music. If you play music, man, you out here just living life. For those of us that don't play an instrument, we are definitely needing to get some sort of musical expression going on, because the benefits of your physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional body when you play music are huge. Lower blood pressure. Studies have shown that, actually there was a study from University of California that asked participants to listen to pop, jazz, or classical music, right, after they did like a really tough math test, essentially. And they found that the music listeners had lower blood pressure afterwards. That's crazy, y'all, but it's so true. And music these days is also pretty much free. You can access jazz music or classical music pretty much anywhere. And to know that it can help you lower your blood pressure, y'all need to be listening to classical music on the way to work. That's all I'm saying. In addition, they also found that playing an instrument decreases the risk of contracting various diseases, right? Because it helps your body create these protective barriers. It's incredible too, because it was over a decade ago that the medical institutes, there was a medical institute in Germany, the University of Sussex, found that when you listen to music, it actually creates a stronger immune system, and it lowers your stress hormones. Hello, somebody. All of us need to be lowering our stress hormones. And if it's as simple as listening to music, that is exactly what I'm going to be doing. Hello, somebody. Anyways, it also found that it improved your brain function, right? And so if you play a musical instrument, your reaction times are likely faster than others. There was a study from the University of Montreal that said that when you play an instrument, it can actually be used as a form of therapy, like cognitive therapy, opening up an entirely new world when it comes to treatment of dementia and Alzheimer's. I mean, the benefits literally are galore. Of course, it feels intuitive that musicians have better hearing than non-musicians, right? According to studies from the Society of Neuroscience, musicians have better hearing than non-musicians. And even though your ears can't necessarily change, people who play an instrument, whether it's classical or otherwise, train their brains to perceive sounds with more accuracy, okay? So it's really, really incredible to think about how we are able to create a healthier mind, body, spirit, emotions simply by either listening to classical and jazz music or
The National Weather Service has issued a flood warning for the following Pennsylvania counties: Montgomery and Philadelphia. Effective until 12:44 p.m. The National Weather Service in Mount Holly, New Jersey has issued a flood warning for Montgomery County in southeastern Pennsylvania, Philadelphia County in southeastern Pennsylvania, until 12:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Thursday, at 6:10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The rain was coming to an end in the area, but residual flooding continued. Rainfall totals since late Wednesday generally ranged from 1 to 4 inches. Flooding was occurring along small streams and creeks. Many roads in the area remain closed due to flooding. Some locations that are experiencing flooding include Philadelphia, Norristown, Pottstown, Lansdale, West Norton, East Norton, Conshohocken, Hatboro, Ambler, Collegeville, Royersford, Jenkintown, Arbroath, Trapp, and Hatfield.
And the recorder and that sort of thing. I had a teacher, his name was Mr. Travis, who kind of introduced that to us. And I became very excited, about just sort of wanting to understand and to grow, and sort of the vibratory effects that those instruments had, and especially the xylophone. I think all children should play the xylophone. You just get something from it. But anyway, long story bearable, did that, and towards middle school is when I was introduced to the violin. There was a young sister named Tamika Murphy. I never forget her. She played. She was like the teacher's pet, and all of that. The term teacher's pet. So I was like, well, she could do something, I could do it as well. And I wanted to play the saxophone or the drums like every other black boy at the time. And we didn't have that at my school. I went to Anna Howard Shaw Middle School. So anyway, did that, and there were no instruments left, so there were only string instruments left. And I said, all right, well, let me pick the boy instrument, the cello, which I thought was like, more masculine instrument, et cetera, et cetera. And the cello was very tall, and I was like very short, so couldn't play that. So I was stuck with the strings, and I wasn't mad, but clearly the only melanin-enriched male to play that instrument at the time in my school, and fell in love ever since I did it. She stopped playing eventually, and other folks started coming on and off, but I loved it. Just something connected with me and the violin.
Wow. And so that was in middle school, but you still play now, and you're no longer in middle school. So how long have you been playing the violin, and why have you stuck with it?
Forever. It is maybe over 27 years, I guess, at this point. But I stuck with it because it is something that I enjoy doing. It serves as a catharsis, really sort of a balance for, breaking up the monotony of everyday life, and things like that. It really kind of helps to strengthen me, as well as to just sort of heal myself and others that I'm connected to. So it's a healing agent, and it is also something that's opened up a lot of doors. I've been, out of the country and around the world because of music, and who'd have thunk it, me, I'm from down the bottom. I'm from down 33rd and Wallace, so you don't see no black boys playing no violins in 33rd and Wallace, But it's really, it's really taken me to places and opened doors for me that I probably wouldn't have been able to do by myself. So I believe I was destined to be playing music. So I'm honored. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. So I was throwing some stats out before you came on about music and mental health, and how music can be so beneficial to not only the listeners, but also the folks who play it.
Right.
Did any of those things connect with you?
Absolutely. So when you were reading about some of the studies, I felt validated as a musician, because quite often as an artist, it's like, oh, you get the craps, whatever. You play music, who's going to major in that? How are you going to make a life for yourself? Whatever. But, we are also scientific, and, there are some vibratory effects and some wavelengths and things that, that impact people. I think that the bottom line for me is that we're all musical. We are all music. We are all a compilation of that very classical definition of what music is, the combination of melody, harmony, pitch, rhythm, and form. But I think that where melanin-rich people get it differently is how we put it all together, right? And what I mean by we are all music, all of our organs work in harmony and tandem. There is everything that we do and that we are can be connected to a musical element, which is, how I lead my life. Everything is music. Our conversations are music. The vibration that you get, when thinking about a song. So, some folks are like, "Oh, I'm not a musician," or "I'm not an artist," and blah blah blah. I challenge them on that, because there's some artistic qualities in all of us. Some of the beautiful things that happens with music is that it brings people together. I recently went to the Roots picnic, and of course there was an array of artists and folks who we could listen to and that sort of thing. But this is something that is traditionally and historically, and currently bringing us together, like no other element that I've experienced before. So when people say that they're not artists, when you think about a song, sometimes you're able to connect to various memories because of music. Music has a way of deeply sort of engaging us emotionally that no other element does. In middle school, high school, I learned about sort of lynching, right? And I'm just trying to throw a hypothetical out there, but I learned about lynching. I heard about it, and the teacher spoke about like what it was, and you kind of got it in a certain way, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't until I heard Nina Simone sing Strange Fruit that I got it. I really got it. I got it. I heard her sing, and something connected with me that was, I can't explain it. It was just a deeper connection. And I think that happens quite often when I listen to music. You kind of just get it in a different way. And then also I think music just kind of, it makes you smarter. It challenges you to listen to things that a lot of other people don't necessarily listen to. And everybody has that ability. Everybody does that. I think musicians who actually play it and actually connect that, what they hear, that mind-body sort of thing, I think that's a different sort of understanding, and a lot of folks call them weird or call us, just sort of like in our own world. But I challenge everybody that everybody's in their own world, Yeah.
Yeah, I agree so much.
Yeah.
I agree so much. We are speaking with Jack Drummond, who is an educational leader, administrator, and also a violinist. And we are going to be talking today about the impacts and the power of music as a form of bringing folks together for culturally, emotionally, spiritually, everything, just how important it is to us as a community and how we all, in our own right, are music and are artists. Even if you are not on the stage somewhere, you have an impact and you can benefit from the creative expression of artistic music. This is Halana here live on Daybreak with you each and every single day, Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. here on WURDradio.com, 96.1 FM, 900 on the AM dial. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is John.
Hi, this is Juanita, owners of JD's Auto Body and Painting. We're located at 6300 Wayne Avenue, right there at the intersection of Wayne and Washington Lane.
We really like to thank all you WURD listeners for the support that you've given our business, and we really hope to see you in the future.
JD, tell them about our products and services we have.
We have a new state-of-the-art paint shop along with our body shop and detail shop. We can help you with the dents and scratches from the winter season.
Come to JD's Auto Body and Painting. Come on out and check us out. We're still honoring that WURD 10% discount. Give us a call, 215-848-5949. Again, 215-848-5949.
Thanks again for supporting our business. We really appreciate you.
See you at JD's Auto Body and Painting.
Listen live at WURDradio.com. Drive in with Solomon Jones. Drive home with Charles Ellison. This is WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Philadelphia, independent black media. Now back to Daybreak on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live at WURDradio.com.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Halana here live and in the building with you each and every single morning, Monday through Friday here on WURDradio.com, 96.1 FM, 900 on your AM dial. And what a beautiful morning it is, and what a lively conversation we've been having here in the studio. It is currently Thursday, June 20th here in the city of Philadelphia. Outside, it is a little bit rainy, but don't let it get you down. 69 degrees outside, getting as high as 90 degrees later on this afternoon. A little bit of cloudy, a little bit of raindrops. Prepare yourself, my friends. If you are on your way out the door this morning, aiming to get out the door by 6:30 a.m., just know that you got about 5 minutes to make that happen. You know those morning minutes can either go by super slow, or next thing you know, you are rushing out the door like, ooh, gotta go. Make sure that you prevent that early morning stress by preparing yourself nice and easy, nice and calm. Grab your keys, grab your packed lunch, because you know I'm a big advocate of packing your lunch. Yes, that's right, pack that lunch. Save those coins. Also, it's good because you know what you eat, and you always are going to make something you like, so you don't have to be picking out the onions and the peppers and whatever else y'all be doing when you have to buy food from somebody else. You know how much salt is going in it, how much sugar is going in it, how much oil was used. You're just able to be in control of your own diet, and also by that same right, be in control of your health. So make sure you pack your lunch today. Throw something in there to make sure that you have a good, nutritious meal, so you'll be energized throughout the day, so you can show up in your best way, have a clear mind, and a nice full belly, so that you can get what you need to do done today. If you are just now waking up, good morning. Good morning to your day. Open up those pretty little eyes and stretch out those pretty little toes as you prepare yourself to welcome yourself and wake up this morning. I am so happy to be here with you. I'm so appreciative of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for sending me your energy through these radio waves, and just being here. I can feel your presence, and I want to just let you know, when you tune in, I notice it. And when you miss out, I notice it. So make sure you never miss a show, because you never know what I'm going to be talking about when it comes to health and wellness, hitting you with that 360 degrees. Today, in fact, we are talking about music and the power of music, and how music for us as a people is deeply ingrained in our culture. And also, science is starting to catch up and seeing some of the actual tangible benefits of music. But I feel like intuitively, we all already know how beneficial music is for us as a people. And we are speaking with Jack Drummond, who is an educational leader, administrator, and also a violinist. Jack, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
You're welcome. You're welcome so much. So I'm so excited because we have you in the building. We also have your violin in the building.
Yes, Nina.
And I know that you, not only are you a violinist, but you also have mad credentials. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of the stages that you graced, some of the people you've worked with, maybe even some of the educational background and studies that you've done to kind of lead to this point?
Sure. Well, not many educational studies and that sort of thing in music. My study is more experiential, if you will.
Yes.
But in terms of some of the stages, my group and some folks that we're connected with, we've gotten to play at Carnegie Hall, of course, in Philadelphia. We've graced many stages, the Kimmel and, YOLO's on 17th and Susquehanna. So, various types of stages and places. But we've been all over the different parts of the country, various collegiate stages and that sort of thing. And also outside of the country, we've been to three places, or three countries in Africa, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, and Cameroon. So lots of various places that we've played. And I just love it. I think it's something that, again, will open up a lot of doors for people. And it's something that's different, especially for brothers, for black men. But it's nothing new. This is nothing new, Tell
us about it, Jack.
Yeah,
Tell us about it.
We've been doing this for a while. There are some, I forget the brother who, currently, a lot of folks know about black violin, right? But before black violin, there were two brothers in New York who were doing this, like on the subway station. I think the group was called Nothing But Strings or something like that. Melanin and Rich brothers, from New York, kind of getting it in and combining hip hop and classical music, or European classical music. You got to watch how we define that. But they were doing it. Before them, you have folks like John Blake, Noel Pointer, who were doing some great things, some jazzing some things up on the strings. Before folks like them, you had Stuff Smith, and various folks who a lot of people don't necessarily know about, but we've been doing this, so this is not a new phenomenon for us. But and it's something that we need to continue. I would love what would be dope for me, and actually one of my dreams, and I'm putting it out there, right, is to have a melanin enriched, and I always say that because you don't know what folks are going to call themselves this week, black, Negro, I don't know, whatever, color, Tiger Woodian, but melanin enriched male orchestra in the city of Philadelphia. That would be so dope for me. I would love to be a part of that, running that, being, involved in that, because I know what it's done for me, and I know I sort of feel like I know what it will do for them and how it will impact them. In the city, you know, that's another way to create a job, you know, make some money. They'll do weddings, bar mitzvahs, whatever you need them to do, you know, they could do it. But I just think it's dope way to connect with people as well.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting when you cast that vision out there. First of all, you never know who might catch it.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Catch
but
it.
also, catch it. But the other thing about it is the benefits that you've experienced directly as a black man, you know, as a melanin-enriched man, playing an instrument and the places it's taken you. You spoke about just being like a local yokel and just being, you know, from around the way. And yet, that your instrument, this destiny, as you called it, to play an instrument has really opened up your life's path.
Sure.
Do you find that when you tell people that you play the violin, you get a certain response, or
Yeah.
What talk to me about
I'm used
that.
to it now at this point, you know.
What is that response? What is
Folks,
that?
well, I mean, it's more like shock, like, oh, you know. The violin for certain people is sort of like a status symbol, you know, because
Interesting.
it's so closely related and sort of connected to European culture, and because it's such a difficult instrument to play. You get like sort of this shock. But what folks don't know is that the violin is just as African as many of these other instruments that we play, you know. Primarily in the western regions of Africa, western reaching out to central regions, you know, we've always played stringed instruments, you know, and had that sound be a part of, you know, the things that we do, and primarily the healing sciences. So this is something that's historic. It's nothing that, you know, but anyway, you talked about the reaction. Folks, they get it, you know, they're like, if I tell folks I'm a musician of sorts or whatever, they'll say, oh, you know, you sing, you rap, you do whatever. And I'm like, no, you know, I play the violin, you know, strings. I always say strings because it sounds cool. Yeah, I play strings, you know. You know, and they're like, oh, what string? And I'm like, oh, the violin. You know? The violin. Oh, the violin, okay. You know, but you know, but music is so universal that, you know, we can, you know, even as violinists, we can jump in on anything, you know, hip hop, you know, we connect. We were just talking about sort of the juxtaposition of, you know, earlier music to today's music, you know, and really kind of comparing like Fela Kuti to City Girls. You know what I mean? There is something that is internal to all of us. Once again, you know, we were born with a drum. You know, that heartbeat is what I call this internal drum that we were born with. And music, right, vibratorily connects to us all. That's our first instrument. You know, that drum, that boom, 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 you know, boom, boom. So we feel it in a way. And we all have that. You know, I don't know why I'm getting back on this, because I think that so often folks try to get away from the artistry that they are and from the music that they are. And I'm not going to let you get away. You are living music. You are breathing music. And it's life.
Yes, yes, yes. You are the perfect person for my show. And you're just like resounding, you know, like sounding back everything that I talk about, just on a different energy. And I love that. I love that so much. So you've been hinting at this historical thing, and we just going to talk about it. Okay.
Sure.
So break it down for us from your life experience, from your perspective, right? You don't have a PhD in music, right? But you do have a BS in psychology, education, and music, and an MED in education from Lincoln, so you got some credentials. You know how to talk about things.
Right.
Talk to us a little bit about how you see the difference in how melanin-enriched folks approach music, and maybe how the mainstream society, you know, or even especially in the classical music world, where, like you said, you've taken the violin and made it your own. You've taken it to hip-hop spaces, jazz space. You know, you can jump on any beat. There may be a line of people who play the violin in another culture that would be like, what? Talk to me about how you see those two worlds interacting, or the differences or similarities between them, and how exactly we express things.
Sure. I think that we know that melanin-enriched people, especially in this country, have been impacted in different ways, right? And I think, you know, impacted by different vibrations, different behaviors, different pattern systems. I think that the way that we have sort of inculcated this phenomenon of music as an aspect of culture makes it different for us, because we've been impacted in such a different way. When I think about culture, I'm looking at least 5 different elements. I'm looking at language, and music is also a language, right? And just sort of the way that, we're in a society that, we don't even speak our own language. This language was introduced to us. So we had to learn and just sort of adapt to that, I think of, things like ritual religion. Okay, so there are some musical elements that come along with melanin and rich sort of traditional religions and some of the things that we do ritualistically, and I'll get back to this, but I just wanted to throw in a little story about when I went to Senegal. It was more totally Islamic, not totally, but just sort of like a majority Islamic region that I stayed in. I stayed with a host family. The sister was Madam Yawat, so shout out if she's watching or whatever. But anyway, stayed there for a while. And anyway, long story bearable, there was every morning, like around this time, early in the morning, they got up and said a prayer, But it was like, I want to say like a coming to Senegal experience when it woke me up when the entire city was praying, and it was such a musical experience to me. Anyway, I'm just kind of relating this to the other point of language and and ritual and religion. Also, I think about the arts, and the arts traditionally has been a stronghold for melanin and rich people. It has gotten us through hard times. If you think about imprisonment or slavery or what folks Ma'afa or various things that folks call it, music was one of the ways that we held on. Music was one of the ways that we were motivated to escape. Music was one of the ways that we were motivated to transform, and it really helped us to do that. My favorite genre of music is spirituals, and Negro spirituals in particular, because it's very pentatonic in that sound, which is related to most of the sounds around the world, but that is something that has really been a stronghold. So to answer your question specifically, I think that has been something that we've been able to connect with in a different way based on our experiences. But the other two things that I think about when I think about culture is food, certain, I don't even need to get into food, all about, sort of the food thing. And, that makes us distinct in terms of, the ways that we go about processing, and sort of understanding that. And then I think the final thing that I say is really aesthetics, and the way how we sort of adorn ourselves and how we, or the things that we call beautiful. So anyway, I mentioned those 5 elements because music in the arts definitely plays an integral role in terms of how it impacts us, but it's connected to everything else that we do. And that's why I mentioned, some of the other elements of culture. So when I say culture, that's what I mean. I don't know if I even got to answer your question fully, but I think that is something that I think about when you ask that question.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you answered it in the sense that understanding how music impacts our culture, looking at culture and our experience as all of these different components, the music, the arts, the ritual religion, the aesthetics, you know what I mean, the food, all of these components I think are incredibly important, especially when you look at anthropological studies or like where we've been, and we always say, you can't know where you're going unless you know where you've been, and I feel like music always takes us there, and has this beautiful opportunity to allow us to time travel.
No, absolutely. And nobody has been impacted the way that we've been impacted in this country, as far as I'm concerned, right? Melanin and rich people. And because we had that unique experience, those things that held our strongholds, that kind of kept us, the things that motivated us to kind of just transform and be and exist musically, impact us in a way that it impacts nobody else.
Yeah. And I feel that, I know that, I see that, on all of those different kind of sensory levels. I think many folks listening can relate to that experience, right? And, there's an opportunity, I think, that we have every time we engage with music to reinforce that experience, to share it with ourselves, to share it with other people, and also to experience the benefits, like, collectively. There's something really, like you spoke about your experience in Senegal, and I've also been to Senegal years ago, and I know what you mean. Like, that musical experience of a non-musical experience, it's real. And when you said, we are all music, it seemed to really just resonate so much with me. We have a quick caller on the line, Joe, on your mobile device.
Oh, it's Mr. Joe.
Mr. Joe, grab a set of headphones. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really enjoying the show, and I love the violin. And I would just share another young brother violinist who I saw with Stanley Clark, Evan Garr.
Mm.
He's phenomenal. And Stanley plays a string instrument. He's from Philly, but he sounds like John Lupani.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's like a young John Lupani. He's really, really good.
Okay.
He's playing with Stanley Clark right now. Phenomenal. Evan Garr, I think he's out of Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as a middle-aged person, I started playing congas, and I really am. It was like the best gift I ever did for myself. And what it did was, I could see the relationships between black folks, African folks, and Americans in the Caribbean by learning the rhythms, and you can see really the connectedness of our people and of our culture through the music. You can see the similarities. Okay, we really are related to one another, whether it's Brazil, whether it's Motown or Detroit or Philly or Jamaica or Cuba, you know. So I really, it really has enriched my life playing. So I would encourage anybody, even if you just join the church choir, to really be part of the, just to express yourself musically, and I try to encourage my kids to. Now, one thing, though, we have to control our culture because, our enemies have used our culture and our music and our spiritual gifts against us, too.
Absolutely.
And the negative images that they're portraying in popular culture and the hip-hop and whatever. So I just would hope that more folks in leadership would see the damage effect that our enemies are using against us, using our culture, our music, our rhythms to get us connected to the music, but then giving us negative messages.
Truth.
Instead of empowering messages like you all are empowering, messages and so forth. So anyway, that's just my comment.
Thank you so much, Brother Joe. We appreciate you for calling in. We are speaking with Jack Drummond, educational leader, administrator, and violinist, about the importance of using music as a form of healing, as a form of empowerment, as a way to connect across cultures and a way to share our stories without using any words. This is Helena here live on Daybreak with you each and every single day. We're going to take a quick break. Make sure you don't miss that dial. We'll be right back.
Drexel University's continuing professional education supports WORD and Black Music Month. Earn the skills and credentials you need to stay ahead in today's ever-changing job market with flexible courses to fit your busy life. Get in touch with us at drexel.edu/goodwin/CPE.
Discover the Barnes, an art experience like no other. The Barnes collection hangs masterpieces like Van Gogh, Matisse, Renoir, and Picasso next to everyday objects, revealing unexpected connections across diverse cultures. From tours and classes to family programs and art after hours with cocktails and performances, there's something for everyone. Tickets at barnesfoundation.org. The Barnes. After a visit, you'll never stop seeing the Barnes.
This Black Music Month vignette is brought to you by PA Lottery.
Born Patricia Louise Holt Edwards, Patti LaBelle was lead singer of Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells, who later became LaBelle. In 1966, the group released their first album titled Somewhere Over the Rainbow. In 1974, they broke into the mainstream with disco classic Lady Marmalade. Patti LaBelle started her solo career in 1977 with her self-titled album, which featured ballad You Are My Friend. She received her first Grammy nomination with The Best Is Yet to Come, a 1983 collaboration with Philly native Grover Washington Jr. That same year, she released her first #1 hit, If Only You Knew. In 1984, LaBelle released pop hits New Attitude and Stir It Up. A beloved and revered artist and member of the Grammy Hall of Fame and Songwriters Hall of Fame, Patti LaBelle continues to entertain and inspire.
This Black Music Month vignette was brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older residents in your county. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
Be heard. Want another way to join the conversation?
Follow us on social media
using the hashtag onWURD.
Be heard.
Stay connected to WORD Radio.
Independent Black Media.
Join Word Radio Friday, June 28th for the annual Word Wellness and Food Festival at the Fresh Grocer of Monument Road. And take advantage of our special early bird membership drive. Start or renew your full Word membership between now and June 28th, and you'll get a discounted rate of just $75. Join the 4-Word movement today so you can protect and preserve independent Black media. Call 215-425-7875 or visit wordradio.com. We'll see you on June 28th. Now, a traffic update on Word Radio.
Good morning. This report sponsored by Compassion International. Still a big mess out there in spots because of the weather. 295 both ways shut down between 168 and Route 30, the White Horse Pike, flooding the reason. So again, restrictions both ways, northbound closed, southbound. We do have one lane getting by, but again, restrictions and a mess both ways as a result. Now 42 northbound, that is jamming from 168 through 295 as a result. 55 jam northbound Deptford into 42. A number of floating issues all around New Jersey this morning. 95 southbound, that's at a jam from Betsy Ross down through Girard northbound side, no problem. Schuylkill eastbound Montgomery to Spring Garden, heavy westbound. You're jamming from City out through Belmont, PA Turnpike, Blue Route 476. Saints and Volley there picking up as well.
Right now, there's a child living in extreme poverty with no future and no hope. But you can bring hope when you become a Compassion International sponsor. Just text the word child to 83393 and sponsor a child right now.
For more traffic information, log on to sigalert.com. I'm Jim Bachman with your Philadelphia area traffic.
Now back to Daybreak on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live at wordradio.com.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Halana here, live and in the building with you each and every single morning, Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. here on WURDradio.com, 96.1 FM, 900 on your AM dial. And what a beautiful morning it is. Currently June 20th, Thursday, up in the building, y'all. It's almost Friday. Hey! We are making our way right on through this beautiful, beautiful week. Currently 69 degrees outside here in the city of Philadelphia, getting as high as 90 degrees later on this afternoon. A little bit of rain showers, a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of cloudy. You already know what it is. Make sure that you prepare your mind, body, soul, and spirit as you are making your way into your day this morning. I want to welcome you back to the show, welcome you to your day, welcome you to yourself. If you haven't taken a moment to give gratitude and appreciation, let us all just take a deep breath and just allow ourselves to be present and motivated and profitable and purposeful as we step into our day this morning. I am here live and in the building with Jack Drummond, who is an educational leader, administrator, and also a violinist, and he has been afforded the opportunity to play with greats like Patti LaBelle, Teddy Pendergrass, Minister Louis Farrakhan, and so much more. And we've been having a dynamic conversation, y'all, so make sure you never miss a beat because this conversation's be like, whoa. He is going to grace us with this beautiful violin experience. So I've been talking about the benefits of music, how it can help lower your blood pressure, how it can help with anxiety and depression, all these different things. And you know what? I'm a woman of my word. I'm not going to tell you about the benefits without letting you experience it firsthand, live and in the building. So wherever you are, turn up your radio. You're about to get blessed with a beautiful improvisation from Jack Drummond, the violinist. And we have special guests in the building, Just Greg Corbin Speaks here, who is going to do a beautiful freestyle for us right over the beat. Gentlemen, take it away.
What happens when sound and vibration can move a nation? What happens when the dance underneath the footsteps of children turn into a riot, a resistance? When revolution looks like the smile on your face, when joy and celebration escalates, elevates, helps you levitate into a higher frequency and energy, everything is music. Down to the beat of your heart, that is the first drum. Your tongue is enunciating everything that is music. The way your liver connects with your kidneys, the way your stomach connects with your emotions, is all music. It's all energy. Emotions are energy in motion. So when I guess I hear an orchestra of chaos, I'm really searching for an orchestra of order. Please support. Please look at the way we look at. Please look at the way we sound and 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 sound. When violins connect with trumpets, when trumpets connect with the flute, when the harmonic instrument of the mouthpiece makes peace, transforms everything around us into something called love. When we know we're just as free, when it goes beyond Juneteenth, when we look underneath our feet and the beat of the box and the box makes us free, when the circle of everything is a cipher, when the string of a violin is echoed by a friend. For those enriched with melanin, this is how we break free of any prison. This is how we liberate our minds and our spirits and our souls. Everything is music. Everything is music. And everything is energy. Hey, LU.
Hey. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful experience. Thank y'all so much for listening to that. Thank you both so much for sharing that experience. Music is powerful. We know this. We feel this. There's research to support all of that good stuff. How would you describe your feeling right now after that exchange?
I'm released. I feel great. I feel like every time I get an opportunity to play, it's really a healing component for me. So I'm relaxed.
Yes.
I feel at ease.
Yes.
I was trying to listen to Greg as I was like, playing, but I really feel I feel good.
Yeah, yeah. Greg, how do you?
Like Stephanie Mills good, like all over good. You know what I mean? Like,
yes. I feel good.
It was a point in the freestyle where I was like, oh, sound and sound and sound and sound and sound. That made me feel good. And it was interesting to pick up a word that's charging away for me emotionally, because to hear is a blessing. It's so much gratitude in that. And I do feel like a healing was occurring. And I feel like that creative expression is something we're all looking for.
Yeah, and when we talk about music as a form of healing, how do you see that in your work every single day?
I think that, when you get certain reactions from youth, or get reactions from, just from folks, from adults, from folks who you play with and play for, it brings people to a happy place, and I think that just that alone, if you can find happiness in a moment in a day, I think is a miracle, but like, as was mentioned, from the caller, from Brother Joe, it could also be used as something that is detrimental to us. It could also be used for something that hurts us, Sometimes we can get lost in sort of a trance, and I'm not calling out any musicians or calling out any particular groups or names and things like that, but it impacts us in various ways. Sometimes we'll be listening to music and we find, ourselves nodding our heads, because there's an immediate illicit behavioral response that happens, or we find ourselves like winding our hips or something like that, because certain rhythms, certain vibrations are impacting our chakras in different ways, and we have that behavioral sort of response to it. So what I mean by, it being negative, too much or excess anything, I think is bad for us. So we hear the same, pattern of music, like the stuff that they play on many radio stations these days, it's not necessarily good for us because it doesn't force us to think. We kind of know, what the song is going to be about, what the rhythm, how we're going to react, like it's, and it's the same type, boom, boom, like, all the time. And I don't, like I said, I'm not trashing anybody, any group or any modern group or, group from like whatever, or no individuals. But the idea is that there are things that happen to us when we experience music. And if you speak negative things, or if you, or we listen to sounds that I deem as negative, our blood crystallizes in different ways. And these, you're talking about science, there's scientific studies that, if we spew words of, of hatred and that sort of thing, we are sort of immediately impacted by those vibrations. If you tell somebody, I hate you, or if you call somebody, sort of a name that is not so nice, or a negative name and that sort of thing, you are impacted by that. When people talk about, words don't hurt, that might be a myth to me, because my blood is crystallizing if you call me a name or call me out of my name, so to speak, in a different way. And it's not something that is vibratorily healthy as far as
it's absolutely true. And in fact, it's important to recognize that both music has the power to create and destroy. Absolutely. Right? And both on a scientific level and otherwise. We have a quick caller we want to take. Pende from West Philly, are you there?
Yes. All right. Thank y'all for this beautiful show this morning. And I want to just thank Mr. Drummer, because music has always been so healing. I go to different events that he plays at also. But one of the things that I wanted to say is that I remember years ago I was sick, and I went to sort of a naturopath, and they had a machine. And this machine picked up on a vibration sound that I needed to listen to in order to get myself well. Mm-hmm. So when they initially said that, I was like, oh, these people don't know. But when I did that, so I know that is so true.
Absolutely.
About the sound of music. And also, that experiment with the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're 85% water, so we know that those sounds have vibrational tones to us. And so I just want to thank you, and even thank Mr. Drummer for teaching my son Sophia now. So thank you.
Oh, so okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling in. One quick last comment about the importance of music as relates to our culture. We have such a powerful opportunity every day to be a living example of the world that we want to see, right? And I want to just encourage both of you to continue to create your art, to continue to do what it is that you love. Because one thing I think that you said when I was like, whew, that was an amazing experience, you were like, yo, I feel good, and Greg was like, I feel good. And I think if we just start there, if we just all do one thing every single day that will bring us joy, that makes us happy, that of course is not destructive to the world around us, right. I think it's the classic each one teach one, and you start by teaching yourself. You start by living the example of the world that you want to see. So I want to thank you so much for coming through this morning.
Thanks for having me.
I want to thank you, Brother Greg, also for coming through.
You're welcome.
And just sharing your energy with us. I know Kwesa and I both appreciate the energy here, and I just want to thank you both for just sharing with my listeners that energy and that possibility. This is Helena here live on Daybreak with you each and every single morning, Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. here on WURDradio.com, 96.1 FM, 900 on your AM dial. Remember what I tell you each and every single day. The joy, the love, and the peace that you seek lives inside of you. I love y'all so much. I have so much love for you. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, my beautiful people. And remember, do just one thing today, at least one, that is going to make you happy and bring you joy. And I promise you, you will not regret it. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Walter E. Sabbath Jr. Funeral Service is introducing Cremations Are Us by Sabbath. That's S-A-B-B-A-T-H. Cremations Are Us by Sabbath is the result of their 26 years of experience with individuals and families who choose cremation. Sabbath knows that families who choose cremation have the same needs as those who choose burial. Sabbath's new component, Cremations Are Us by Sabbath, emphasizes the wide selection of services they've always offered. Visit their website, sabbathcare.com, for details, or call 215-924-4101.
They say home is where the heart is. The love